Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching ReZero Season 2, Episode 14. Last time, we finished up the Witch's Tea Party. We had a good talk with Satella. More about that in a second. We were going to talk about Satella. And we talked to Rosewall, yet again. Good old Rosewall. And Subaru is, he needs to talk to his friends. That was kind of our conclusion. When does he not need to, though? Like, come on. He needs to get with it. He needs to learn to rely on other people. Anyway, people in my Discord told me they showed me cut content, which is apparently, according to them, I mean, I trust them. I assume that's, like, correct. Cut content from the light novel, which apparently never made it into the anime somehow, which seems incredibly important, which is the fact that there is a separation between Satella and the Witch of Envy, that in some way they're like separate entities. Like they're the same, but like they're different. Do you know what I mean? At least that's kind of the gist I got from it. Which makes a lot of sense, right? With the difference in Satella in like the last episode, right? Talking to Subaru and Satella slash the Witch of Envy, perhaps, when she showed up in, what was that, like episode 10, right? Yeah, makes a lot of sense that there is, I don't understand how something that vital was apparently just cut out of the anime. I don't know, that's crazy to me. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know, I feel like it is, because it wasn't shown to me specifically in the anime, I feel like it will be easy for me to, like, not think about it. So, but it has to be massively, vitally important, right? Kind of answers a lot of questions about things I was having about Satella and the Witch of Envy and, like, the motivations there, right? It makes a lot of sense. So thank you to them for telling me about that. So yeah, I don't know. We are watching Season 2, Episode 14 of ReZero. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh god, is that just Oto's punch? Yeah, that was so loud and violent. Exactly. It's like he separates himself from, like, normal people so much, you know what I mean? Subaru, I mean, of course. Oh, he sure does. He loves to do that. Oh, come on. Oh, sure, sure. No, actually, man. God, Oto is awesome, apparently. Yeah, that's all the strength you have if you're alone, and that's not a bad thing. Sure. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Exactly, yeah, yeah. A friend. It just, Subaru has to break down this mentality he has. Who cares? It doesn't... Sure, sure, right? Yeah, yeah. You know how you fail all the time, Subaru? Does that mean you give up? No, like... Sure. That's okay, because he's your friend, and he trusts you. Right, right. Unfortunately, there's stuff he can't say, but still, even beyond that, right? There we go. Remember how he just said he's gonna believe you. Come on. Hmm. Ooh. No, it's like we have to break down this mentality Subaru has, right? Okay, alright. What are you doing? Sure, sure. What is Roswell thinking, huh? Right, right. Okay. Ooh. Not gonna die again, huh? And that would destroy Roswell's dream to ever see his wish, even in another universe, you know? This one at least, right? Sure. Isn't even that useful. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Could we ever trust Roswell though? I don't know. Sure, sure. But you don't have to forgive him, right? Yeah, yeah. I guess my question is just, can we ever trust Roswell, right? Perfect. The best place to be. And he thinks that's like unthinkable, right? He gives up everything. Oh, the greed, right? Uh huh. Uh huh. Is it really greedy though? Is it really greedy though? I wonder. What's the point if you don't try for something greedy, right? Come on. Sure. And he can't enter the trial anymore, so what are we gonna do? He's so confident. All right. Begin in 3 days. Okay, okay. How do we how do we stop both, right? What do we do? And I guess again, step one has to be the sanctuary, right? Nah, he looks so much better without the makeup. Like, come on. Great bet. All right, all right. I. It's not that. Come on. There should be something else though. Unfortunately. Ah, so sad to hear her say that. It worked out so well to Roswell's favor. That's the infuriating thing. What happened to Rim? Absolutely, absolutely. And like what Oto's beaten into him is going to help with that too. Sure. How much does Ram know about all of that, even? I mean, it seems like she knows a lot. I don't know. I no. Oto, why do you have a disguise anyway? Yeah, no way, no way. She's his friend. Come on. In a way, right? Partially because of his mentality about losing, right? He thinks it's impossible, essentially. Garfield. So we learned that Garfield is what? He actually opposes freeing of the sanctuary, right? True. Gotta rely on her too. Hmm. Okay. Well, hopefully not. So are you. Oh yeah, like remember like when they met when Subaru had to like agree to like buy all the stock and stuff, right? Feels like a callback to that, right? Oh, what's up, Ryuzu? So, what is her position on like the stuff with like Garfield and freeing of the sanctuary, right? Is she okay? Oh, and yeah, no. Sure, true, but yeah, he doesn't want that. He wants it like genuinely. Yeah. What does he need her help with though? With something with Garfield, I wonder. Okay, sure. Well, is she? We know about Garfield. Yeah, exactly. Right. What is he? Hmm. Think about like when she killed him. I wonder. Oh, I guess that was one of the clones, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it always happens, right? That's kind of what it's been led back to so many times now, in a way. Absolutely, absolutely. Sounds good to me. We do need to know more about Garfield. Deceiving the elderly. What a good skill to have. Hmm. Yeah. What a greedy thing, right? Yeah, right. That have like more personality to them in a way, I suppose, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, have we not? Oh, it's a new one. Use your Arma. Okay. Right, yeah. Interesting. They said that before, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, similar to like Puck, right? Well, it's just how it is, I suppose. Yuzushima, right? Okay. And this is the one who killed him. Yeah. Interesting. Is that the one he saw in the woods as well? Oh, okay. This is hard to follow. I'm trying my best though. Yeah, yeah. So like she is working with him, I suppose, right? The past that he saw. What would be so unique about the past that he saw, I wonder? No. I assume it has to have something to do with his desire to not free the sanctuary, right? Create an opportunity for that. Interesting. Yeah, but what does that mean exactly? Left behinds. Oh, she left. Right, of course. Yeah, yeah. Fears the outside world. Interesting. I can see that. That makes sense to me. Yeah, yeah. No? Oh, okay. So, I mean, I can imagine. Interesting. I feel like what Subaru said kind of makes sense, like, in a way. It doesn't specifically have to be bitterness. Interesting. Okay, okay. I don't know if I fully got this whole different Ryuzu thing down, but I'm trying my best. What are you doing? Oh, God. Come on. Are you really? I. Yeah, probably hard. Knowing what she has to face, right? So much pressure, I'm sure, right? And we've seen what it can lead her to. Very slothful, huh? Hmm. Ooh, sure. Just be direct about it. Might as well try, right? Well, it really might, right? Yeah, yeah. And I think that would make her feel better in a way. Just have someone else to talk to about it. Hmm. It's still something she has to face, but I just worry, right? Because this is how she always is, right? About like the idea of like death, you know? Ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, he doesn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. Wonder how long ago it was. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember if they've ever given us a number at all. How many years she was frozen for? Interesting. Oh God. Cause yeah, I mean this is how she always is, right? Like right after the trial, right? Yeah. Waiting for them all to wake up.
そんな日は来なくて。だから私は森を出たの。応戦に参加したの。どうして森のことと応戦に関係が？
Sure.
ロスワールが約束してくれた。
Oh,
あなたが王座を得ることができたなら、この森の氷を溶かすことも可能でしょう。
awesome. Great.
別する？
No, not no. It makes me think less of Rose Wall.
立派な目標とか覚悟が。
You have a solid goal too. Remember what she said at the in episode 13, right? About her reason?
それが君
It's more than just that, though.
の理由ってやつか。大切な人たちを助けたいって動機は、
Yeah, exactly, right?
助かる人間の多い少ないで、やることの立派さは薄れないよ。うん。すごくありがとう。エミリア。
Hmm. I hope that helped, right? That's better than nothing. Better than her facing it truly alone. You know what I mean?
そこに試練を超える手がかりがある。
Maybe. I wonder.
思い出せなくても、知ってるやつに聞けば。
Oh, Puck. Yeah. But Puck's not here, right?
ごめんな、エミリア。
Oh. Oh, to get Puck to protect her, I suppose.
どうかな。
He is still here. Interesting.
そうだし、リアのそばに置いておくのは怖いな。消しておく。
So why has Puck been silent this whole time?
それと、エミリアたんが悲しんでるぞ。家族兼ペットが家出したせいで。
Yeah.
家出っていうか、ずっと中にはいたんだけどね。
Then why...
でもよく呼び出してくれたね。僕は嬉しいよ、スバル。
Because like, think about all that Amelia's gone through, right? Oh. Interesting.
また怖い夢を見たのかい？
Let's go. Thank God.
よかった。どこに行ってたの？心配したんだから。もう勝手にいなくなったりしないで。パック？いつもよりちょっと体が小さい。
You sure do. You sure do.
思ったより限界が早そうだね。まあ、意識して契約を破ろうとするんだから、精霊としての株を奪われても仕方ないのかな。
Interesting. Break the contract. Is it a... Yeah, something about his contract.
リアのそばにいたよ。話せなかったのは僕の個人的な事情とリア自身の問題。だけどこれからは。
Hmm?
ちょっと待って。
Oh, really?
大変よ。
Yeah.
ごめんね、リア。本当はちゃんと説明してあげたい。
I wish you could. I sure do wish you could.
けど、ことは僕の次に君を大事に思っている子に勝てるよ。
I suppose.
言ってるの？
Oh, God. She relies on him so much, you know?
リア、君と僕との間の契約を破棄する。
Why, though?
一方的で本当にごめんね。僕がいなくなれば記憶の蓋が外れるよ。
Oh, okay.
たくさん悲しい思い。
But that's what she needs, right? It's like she's strong enough to do it now, right? But still.
エミリア、
I mean, I assumed it had something to do with like Echidna, right?
僕愛してる。
Oh. Her mother?
それでいいんだよ。
Interesting.
リア、君を世界で一番愛してる。
Oh. Wow. I did not see that coming at all. Okay.
エミリア様が倒れた。ああ、精霊。
I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what to think about that. Huh.
それで手を乱して墓所への調査。
Yeah, it seems like it's going to make things worse in a way, but also maybe not, right? I don't know. I don't know.
の悩みどころという意味では不憫な話じゃよ。
Matter of the heart.
時にガーボー、スーボーのことじゃが。正気まみれの兄ちゃんが。
Exactly.
わしが話したことではあるが、スーボーに魔女と関わ
So
り
he is meeting with Shima. Right, right. And yet it seemed like it was for that reason, for their suspicion, that they killed him before, right? If you say so, Garfield. I suppose. Ah,
とね。
if you say so. That's like barely an answer. Come on. You gotta learn to talk about it too.
やみすぎないこと、俺にできることがあれば、大した手じゃねえ。
There's always something you can do. Yeah. She has to be willing to open up too, though. Just stay here with her, maybe? Yeah. Till she falls asleep, maybe?
朝までここに
Or until morning, I suppose. She's kind of done that for you, right?
ごめんね。
Don't apologize. Come on.
こんなことでいいならお安いご用だよ。
Perfect. Perfect.
明日になればだ。俺は
Maybe. Maybe so. Maybe so. Hmm. Oh. More memories. Yeah. Oh, her mother.
エミリア、ごめんなさい。あなたを守りたいと。優
See
しい。
that kind lie.
嫌いにならないで。
Interesting.
あなたのことすごく愛してる。
Oh.
フォルトな母様の嘘つき。
Shuna.
この嘘つき。スバル。
Oh, God. Where did he go? Oh, no. Oh, God.
エミリア様。
Where'd Subaru go? Oh, my God.
ラム、何の騒ぎだ。ガーフ、エミリア様がどこへ行ったか知らない。何。エミリア様が行方をくらまされたのよ。今手分けして探しているところ。
Where would she have gone?
わかった。俺様も心当たりを探れ。
Okay, I guess I believe that Garfield has nothing to do with it. Of course. He would be someone with somewhat of a motivation, but you know. Oh, not here either. 2 cups of tea, though. Unless those are still there from last night. Yeah. Where did Subaru go, right? Right, it's open, yeah. Right, right. What does that mean to you, though? What? Oto, what's up? What's up? Oh, he's so cool. What are you gonna do? Okay. What happened with her? Other than her just, I mean, I understand her being upset, right? What happened to Subaru? Uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh. Just came here, huh? Maybe because her memories, yeah.
すごく愛してる。ああ、よかった。やっと見つけた。
Oh, okay.
スバル。
Not seeing his eyes. Still not seeing his eyes.
どうしようか。エミリアだ。
Sure. Let's talk. Okay, no spoilers. Next episode immediately. God. All right. We will talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. That was a good episode. The stuff in the middle here about all of this Ryuzu clone stuff. I hope I am following it properly. I hope. We'll go through it again in discussion here. Maybe I'll make sure I got it down. Stuff with Amelia. I mean, I love Amelia. Amelia is like my favorite character. Um, Man, I don't know what to think about Puck at all. I guess what I think happens here, and what makes sense to me, is of course he talks to Puck here. I guess we don't get to see whatever he really says to him. And then there's like a little like time skip here. It's hours later, it's evening now. And she wakes up and Puck breaks the contract, right? So I assume Subaru had some kind of talk with Puck and explained the situation and the plan or whatever. And that's why Puck makes this decision, right? The contract ends because part of the contract was the sealing of her memories, I suppose, right? That's what it seems like. That's what Puck like says, right? I guess like to like protect her, I suppose, right? Obviously, her past seems very traumatic. Whatever happened, right? I mean, it's still my idea, I guess, that like she is at somehow the one who caused everyone to get frozen, right? And she hasn't had memories of that, of course, right? So Puck, in some way, I suppose, sealed her memories in order to protect her, right? But then again, if that's part of the contract, I don't know how much sense that makes because he didn't form the contract with her until the end of the Frozen Bond, right? But I guess he already existed. Like there were the words from Echidna at the start of the Frozen Bond about her, right? I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I will talk about it in the discussion, right? This is the discussion, but it's something we'll get back to the scene, right? Yeah, I don't know. I hope I got all this down. I think I do. I think I do. And then the stuff with Garfield and like Ryuzu, um, him fearing him fearing the outside world, and that's why he doesn't want to have the sanctuary be freed, right? It's interesting what Subaru said in this scene about like it being a like result of what his mother did to him in some way, right? Or what how he views what his mother did, right? As like some kind of like abandonment, right? And that's why he's like holding on to the sanctuary like this. That kind of makes sense to me, but Ryuzu disagrees. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's go through the episode. So we start here, of course, with Oto giving Subaru a good old beatdown. Apparently, Oto is like a hand-to-hand combat master. I didn't realize that. Or Subaru just sucks. Either way, he gives him a pretty deserved beatdown, perhaps, about his attitude about his friends, right? Refusing to rely on his friends ever. Which, like, it really had me think, right? Like, Subaru has always had, like, this. He always views other people in the world, in this world, all of his friends, right? Amelia, everyone, as, like, things that he has a duty to, like, protect and, like, save, right? He separates himself from them in a way, right? Like, he doesn't view himself as being in the same category as everyone else in the world. And it's not really in, like, a selfish way, right? It's just how he views himself, partially because of Return by Death, partially because of like his low self-esteem and all of that, right? He just doesn't want to put himself in that same like bucket, right? And that's a lot of what leads him to not seeking help from people, right? Hmm. You finally lost your temper, but you forgot to pay attention to your footing. That just sums you up perfectly, doesn't it? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Hmm. Putting on a tough act for a girl you love is fine. Right, right. And you can play tough for a girl who likes you too. Yeah, yeah. No one would object to that. I don't disagree with that, right? I don't really think this is part of that tough act, though, right? I really think it's like this, um, what he says in a second about like how he's tried to rely on people and it didn't work, right? It's so telling in a way, right? Because he himself, it's not like he gives up on himself when it doesn't work, right? I guess you could say in a way he does, right? Like it has certainly had done a big number on his self-esteem, right? And I guess he has like tried to give up before, right? Like in the start of episode 18 in season 1, right? Um, but it just shows that like he has this he views other people and himself, he has a different standard for himself, right? It's kind of like it's an unfair standard on both ends in a way, right? You want to be someone the girl who likes you can prove to be proud of. Wait, can I read this correctly? You want to be someone the girl who likes you can be proud of, don't you? Exactly. Then why don't you just accept someone's help? Yeah, because it's not. I it's like this weird thing about him, right? I mean, it's not really weird. I think it's a very relatable thing. The idea that accepting other people's help is in any way weak or is like something that you shouldn't do, right? I think that's something that Subaru and Amelia both have like problems with and both understand, you know? Of course, I mean the idea of relating that to any form of like toughness, or it's somehow like more, it's what you should do. It's being tough to not accept other people's help. Like that's such a horrible trap to fall into, you know? Someone like a friend, exactly, right? I did rely on someone else. I asked for help, but it didn't work. So what? So that means you're never going to ask for help ever again because one person you tried to rely on was a kidna and she was crazy? Like, come on, right? That doesn't mean anything. You know, think about Rim. Like, but I don't recall ever hearing you ask for my help. Exactly, exactly. Hmm. Full of stuff you wouldn't believe even if I told you. I think he would, honestly. I don't know. Like, just start talking. I'll listen until you finish. If you have time to overcomplicate everything in your head, then you can just spit it all out. I wish he could. I wonder what all he tells Oto exactly here. Does he just tell him everything, just omitting the return by death stuff? Like maybe, right? Just essentially, I mean, everything that's going on, you know. And when you're done, just tell me to believe you. And then Super immediately starts it with, "You might not believe me." So I assume he told Oto like essentially everything. Just cut out the specific stuff about return by death, right? And Oto just believes him, right? I mean, it would be pretty easy to believe him. It's like it is proven true pretty quickly by like this exchange he has with Ram after this, for example. You know, I like how Oto feels the need to hide behind two like branches here, as if that does literally anything. What are you doing? So Subaru fucking has a great attitude to talk to Rosewall. Man, part of this, like his attitude here, it has to be so shocking to Rosewall, right? Because the last time he talked to Rosewall, think about his attitude, right? Compared to this now, right? And I just think Rosewall has this opinion of Subaru. I don't think he views him as someone like this who would have this kind of attitude. You know what I mean? He really tries to beat down his everything about him, right? Make him into someone like him, you know? So we're making a bet with his wish and his wish, Rosewall's wish and Subaru's wish, both on the line. Very interesting. And it makes sense that he does this because Rosewall thinks his wish is so far superior. He thinks his will, his determination, everything is so much better than Subaru's in every way, right? Like I don't think he could imagine at all that there's any way Subaru could like beat him in this exchange. You know what I mean? It's like it's the perfect way to approach it, you know? I assume there was more Subaru needs from Rosewall. Um, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Let's read it again, right? I certainly did not expect to see you again in this life. Of course, of course. Our last showdown. I'm going to save the sanctuary and the mansion in this loop. And hey, I mean, it'll work. Nothing terrible has happened yet. Subaru can't enter the trial anymore. But the assumption is, of course, is that that would happen anyway, even if he used return by death again, right? So like, might as well just do it this time, you know? Bust up every one of your damn plans. Hmm. Leave behind the one and only power you have. What a thing to say. Being able to start over and being able to save them are two different things. Sure, sure. Power I have isn't even that useful. That's an interesting thing for him to say. I wonder, like, where... It isn't even that useful. Very interesting, right? I agree, like, in a sense, right? It's certainly very useful to people who want to, like, use it for their own purposes, use it in a very, like, inhuman way, right? But use it in the way that, like, Subaru himself was thinking about it as the user of it, right? I guess I agree that it's not very useful in that sense, because, like, we saw where that led him, right? Hmm. My demand is simple. If I save both the sanctuary and the mansion, You will throw that book away and come with me. I'm going to make Amelia the new ruler, and I need your help to do it. So my thing is like, can we ever trust Rosewall at all? Right? I just don't know how. Even if Subaru wins here, how do we know Rosewall's gonna like keep his word in any way? Right? He's not like a spirit. It's not gonna be a contract, right? So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to think like how that would play out, right? Obviously, well, an important thing, of course, is from Rosewall's point of view. With all of this out in the open now, with Subaru like knowing about him and all of this, right? Having this view of him, Subaru is kind of the one with all the cards now, right? For one thing, like doing this, right? Subaru has the ability to crush Rosewall's crazy idea of like one version of himself ever getting to see his wish be fulfilled, right? Like Subaru can commit himself to make sure that never happens, right? So that's kind of what he would be doing through this deal, right? If he succeeds here, you know. So Subaru kind of has all the cards. He's the one with Return by Death, and Rosewall's attitude about his wish and like being willing to throw his own life away so some other version of himself can see it be fulfilled, right? That's all predicated on Subaru actually continuing along a path where his wish would eventually be fulfilled, right? Hmm. Do you think you would forgive what I? It has nothing to do with forgiving him, of course. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Nothing deadly has happened yet, so I can solve this. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We love convenient ideas around here. Of course, of course. Amelia is going to do her best to become the next ruler, and I'll be by her side to congratulate her. How far we've come, right? Like the first half of season one, Subaru. Think about how he would have said this, right? Like I don't know, I don't know what he would have said, but it wouldn't have been. He would just be by her side to congratulate her. You know what I mean? Like he would have been the one like doing it or something, right? Maybe he wouldn't have said that, but that's what he would be thinking in a way. That's what he would be doing at the very least. I want you to be part of the crowd we'll have around her. Just so you know, it'll be mandatory. Of course, of course. You expect to fulfill your desire without letting go of anything. For Rosewall, unthinkable, right? Because for Rosewall, he gives up everything, right? He essentially thinks that's like what makes your desire like more worthwhile, is if you're willing to give up everything for it. That's like a prerequisite, you know what I mean? Because he's willing to throw away his own life as many times as it takes, you know? Say my involvement is necessary and insist on including me in the foundation of the future. Hmm. She agreed of that solution. What a thing to say, huh? Is it really greedy though? Like what's you might as well go for the greediest option. Like like come on, right? Hmm. No matter how you fight it, you cannot break through this. With Amelia Salmon unable to stand, the barrier will remain. The sanctuary will be covered in snow, and the mansion will sink into a bloody tragedy. So we've kind of already gotten like the first step of this, like figure it out, right? We have unlocked Amelia's memories. Again, I assume that's part of the plan. I don't know why Subaru left her in the night. I assume it just has to do, I don't know, has to be something about all of this, whatever's going on with these plans, right? Like Oto kind of said it at the end there, right? There's a whole conspiracy going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about yet, you know? Um, it's Subaru convinced Puck to do that to free her memories, right? Unfortunately, Puck is gone, right? Maybe good in some sense. I've never really been the number one Puck fan in a way, right? But we've gotten the first step of this, like on the way, right? Next step, she has to pass the trial. We have to prevent Garfield and Ryuzushima, assumedly, from like stopping her because they don't want the sanctuary freed. Then we have to go to the mansion and figure all that out, right? Should make the sight of you crying all the better. Like really truly dismantle his plan, right? Because that's what Rosewall has done here. You know, he's tried to put him in a situation where it's impossible to do all of that. Hmm. All right, we have taken the bet. The snow in the sanctuary and the attack on the mansion begin in 3 days. Fuck, that's just not much time at all. 2 days now by the end of the episode, right? Do try your hardest to fight it and fail miserably. Hmm. It's very interesting, right? It would prove Rosewall so wrong about everything that he thinks, right? Like, because essentially, if you think about it, right, like Rosewall's attitude that he is willing to die and for the idea of another version of himself seeing his wish be fulfilled through the power of Subaru's return by death, right? That in and of itself is like a concession to the idea that his wish is in some way impossible without return by death, right? That he has to rely on return by death to get his wish. And otherwise it's just, oh, he's just gonna die, he's just gonna rely on return by death, and without that it can't be done. It's almost like he's putting Subaru like in that same position, right? Where he has no choice but to use return by death in that same sense and rely on this power completely to achieve his goals, right? Clown makeup back on. As two clowns at the mercy of fate, let's fight this out fair and square. Straight bet, absolutely. Oto still hiding in the bushes. Very nice, very nice. You accepted what Rosewall's doing. There's only one thing I value above all else, which, God, I hate hearing Ram say things like this so much. Because, like, God, if she knew what happened to Rim, and she knew that it was, a large part of it is in a way Rosewall's fault, right? Then what would she think, right? But she doesn't remember. It's so frustrating. No way that will change. Never. Putting your hopes in Amelia-sama, absolutely. Amelia-sama hasn't figured out why she's been struggling. Until she does, the same thing will just keep happening. Well, we're making steps towards that, right? I don't know. It reminds me in a way of like Subaru and like his own reconciliation of his past, of course. I mean, it's both are the first stage of the trial, so of course, right? But it's interesting how Subaru in like episode 4, right? Parent and child went through like a similar thing. Already strayed from what's written in the book. Rosewall is free now. Very interesting, right? So how much does Ram know about the book and about all of that with Rosewall? Because, like, way back in Season 1, Rosewall was fine with talking with Ram about, like, his greater plan to, like, kill the dragon. So I assume she knows a lot, right? Probably. We are not enemies, Oto. No way. No way. Despite everything. Yeah. The bet is officially on. Next is Garfield. So, I guess part of the plan is for Oto to be the one to face Garfield in some way, right? Right. Can't rely on Oto for help with Amelia, yeah. But you can do it. Haven't even scratched the surface of what's hurting her. And yeah, that's very true, right? Like, he saw her suffering so much, and his immediate answer to it has just been trying to be stop her suffering instead of, like, helping her through it, right? Again, it's just so much of like a double standard between himself and other people, right? Like an unfair one for himself in this case. The way that like his own suffering is this tool that he uses to help others. And for other people, he sees Amelia's suffering, he immediately just wants to stop it, right? And not try and like work through it in any way. We're gonna do it. Unlike Garfield, I don't have to worry about dying. Well, with Puck there, you never know, right? I guess you're one to take bets that are stacked against you, huh? But taking on a bet without even considering my odds of winning, that's a first for me. It reminds me so much of when Subaru first met Oto, and he had to kind of like make a deal with him in a way. I guess it wasn't really a bet, but it was like this transactional like deal, right? Where he had to buy all of his cargo or whatever to like use his thing. How much things have changed. So Subaru shows up to come talk to Ryuzu. This is Ryuzu Arma, right? That was her name, right? So there's Ryuzu Arma, God, I forget, Bilma? Was it Bulma? Bilma? Something like that. And Shima, right? And then there's a fourth one, right? Because there's the 4 original ones that have their own names, right? That have more like individuality. Shima's the one with Garfield, who like... and I kept saying that Ryuzu Shima like killed Subaru before. She didn't kill him. That was just when like they trapped him for a bunch of days and all that horrible shit happened. Right. That was when that happened. So I mean, I guess it was kind of worse than killing him in a sense, right? Suppose the one young Rose was waiting for was you. Nope, not really. No. Yeah. That's all kind of been blown up in Rosewall's face, essentially. So I guess my question is, what is the help? I'm unclear on this. What is the help that not Rosewall, that Subaru needs from Ryuzu exactly, right? I guess he's coming to her under the assumption that she is someone who is opposing the freeing of the sanctuary, right? And she's not, right? So I guess it was just the idea that she's connected to Garfield, who is the one who definitely opposes the freeing of the sanctuary, right? And that's kind of another step we need to take, right? We need to work all that out before we can free the sanctuary, right? Exactly. Not going to use his authority as an apostle. A way to liberate the sanctuary, but she's not opposed to it, right? Right. Opinion on young Gar. Yeah, no avoiding a clash. Well, maybe like we can have an emotional clash. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure we can be friends, right? I mean, we've seen that Subaru and Garfield certainly can be like friends in a sense, right? It happened like the first time, right? It's certainly not impossible. I guess that makes me think like what I feel like we still just don't know enough about like what Garfield knows and what's actually going on with all of that to like really say what the difference was, right? Obviously Garfield is suspicious of like the witch's miasma thing, but that alone isn't enough to make him like just want to kill Subaru, right? It comes down to the freeing of the sanctuary in some way, right? Hmm. Yeah, we know all about the copies, the immortality experiment. Exactly, exactly. So the four of them alternate in bearing the role of supervisor. And they can only exist for a limited amount of time, like Puck. They're kind of like spirits, right? This is Rizu Arma. Yes, 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 yes. And then there's Belma, and there's Shima, right? Hmm. And then, so yeah, Rizu Shima, she wears one of the white jackets, right? Is there? But she is still one of the first four, just like them, right? It's just normally it was like the other clones that were in the white ones, but I guess she just does too, just because she's cool. I don't know. And yeah, this was the scene where yeah, she was like taking Garfield's side here, and they trapped him, right? Right. About 10 years ago, she caused a problem. She was then removed from the role of supervisor and now lives in the forest with the other copies. For that reason, three of us fill our supervisor role now. She violated the contract with the witch who created us by entering the graveyard to bring back young Gar when he broke the rules to attempt the trial and did not return. So Garfield attempted the trial at some point, which is interesting, because if he opposes freeing the sanctuary, why did he attempt the trial, right? Um, I just don't know if it's so simple as him fully opposing the freeing of the sanctuary, right? Like, because I guess like I got the vibe before he cares about the people in the sanctuary, right? I don't think he wants everyone trapped in the sanctuary. If everyone else like wants to leave, you know. I don't know. I don't think he's like malicious, right? Hmm. I've not seen Shima since she was stripped of her duty, but it would be no surprise if Young Gar has been meeting with Shima, with whom he shares memories that we do not. Okay, and it was memories from that he saw in the graveyard trial, right? That he has shared with her, and I guess she's like sympathetic towards it in some way and agrees with him about the sanctuary. Interesting. Frederica left. Frederica has this interesting motivation, right? An opportunity for the people of the sanctuary to leave it once the barrier was broken. I wanted to make a place for them. Has she been doing that in any way? Um, Not that we really know of, not that I can think of, right? Unless it's just something behind the scenes that we aren't aware of, you know? Hmm. The moment when young Gara and Fred were left behind by their mother when she left the sanctuary. The foolish, pitiful Garfield fears the outside world. So the reason he's against liberating the sanctuary is out of bitterness toward his mother for abandoning him and choosing the outside. So this kind of makes sense to me in a way, right? Like I can imagine this, right? Um, that he would be bitter towards his mother, and the same way he's like bitter towards Frederica, it seems, right, for abandoning him. And he like wants to stay in the sanctuary because of that, right? I can imagine like the emotional reason for that, right? I feel like that is different than the idea of what Echidna brings up, which is him like fearing the outside world, right? Like that's certainly a different thing than like bitterness towards the outside world and like his mother almost like representing that for him, right? The outside world being like linked to his mother in that way, and Frederica, right? But what would cause him to like fear the outside world in some way, you know? I wonder. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. We really just need more, I feel like, you know? Because it seems like if he refers to himself as Garfield Tinsel, which is his mother's name, then it's not out of bitterness towards his mother, you know? Interesting. Hmm. Most likely known only to him and Shima. Well, I am sure we will see eventually, right? So Subaru shows up to talk to Amelia. She's, God, so sad. Like, get out from there. Come on. You'll get your butt dirty. Like, what? What? It's she's sitting on a rug. Like, what are you talking about? God, and she is so just the pressure on her must feel so like extreme, you know? So much like something Subaru can really relate to, you know, because he always has so much pressure on himself, right? Kind of like that he puts on himself in a way, right? But like she has to face this trial, right? It is awful and like psychological torture, essentially, it seems like, right? But she like has to do it, right? At least in her mind, that's what she thinks, right? She has to be the one to pass the trial. She has to do it, you know. It's so awful, you know. And she doesn't have anyone to talk to. Puck's not here, you know. She just kind of just self-isolating about it, you know, because she doesn't want other people to worry about her. That's kind of always something about her, right? So it's hard for her to approach anyone, right? And because she's like everyone's only hope to like free the sanctuary, she doesn't want other people to like think she's like doing a terrible job and is being so much bothered by it and all of this, you know? It's just, it's rough. It's so rough. Hmm. Very slothful of you. I love her pout here. Hmm. Do you feel up to telling me what you saw during the trial? Finally, we're talking about it, right? I won't claim that talking about it will make you feel better, but if you tell me, we can worry about it together. And in a way, I think that will make her feel better, right? Just to have someone to talk to about it, right? To not be like isolated like this, you know? Because we've seen where this extreme isolation has like led her, right? Like in episode 11, right? Hmm. Would you give me the right to fight the same enemies you fight? This is so good. This is so good. Because like think about this attitude, him like asking her like this and phrasing it in this way, compared to what he did in episode 13 of season one, right? Like barging in there and being a lunatic and trying to take away her right to do things by herself and like do it himself instead, you know? Like God, what a development, right? So much better to think about and phrase it in this way, right? Because that's what she needs, right? Because that's always been the thing with her, right? Is in season one, for like the first half of season one, Subaru was like too much, right? Like he took away the ability for her to do anything by herself and tried to shoulder it for himself, right? And it was like crazy, right? Like I mean, we talked about that all the time back then, right? But at the same time, right, she has this problem where it's hard for her to rely on other people, right? She tends so much like this self isolation and all of this, you know. She essentially only had Puck for so long, you know. It's so hard for her to rely on anyone else, and the treatment she gets from other people all the time certainly doesn't help, right? That's what led her to this whole like thing about like debt, right? Which she hasn't talked about in a long time, right? Which is interesting. But it's that whole thing about like being indebted to people and like the reason why she's helping others and all that kind of thing, you know. So she does also need to learn to rely on other people in a way, right? Yeah, that's it's but it's hard to do, right? I mean, it's the same struggle that Subaru's going through, right? The idea of trusting his friends and relying on others, you know? I mean, it's a shared struggle between them. They have different reasons for it, right? Um Subaru, it's not like selfish, but it almost is selfish in a way, his attitude about it, right? The double standard he has for himself versus others, you know? And for Amelia, it's like this whole like debt and like the treatment she's had in society for so long. It's so hard for her to bring herself to rely on others, you know. But at the same time, they're shared issues, you know. They can kind of tackle it together, right? So much faith in me. But is that a bad thing? It's stressful, right? It is stressful for someone to have faith in you, right? I get it. The past I saw was a memory from before I went to sleep. Never told you that I was frozen in ice for a long time. Yeah, Subaru doesn't know anything about all that, right? Hmm. I've been sleeping within the ice for a long time. And again, my theory about all of this, which I think makes sense, right? I don't really know if it's just a theory or if it is like I guess if it's wrong, then the story's just been trolling me. Then in some way Amelia is the one who froze everyone, right? Assumedly not of her own like volition or not meaning to, something like that, right? Hmm. We all lived in the forest together before it froze. I don't remember how much before. I don't remember much from before that happened. Yeah. Someone who was like a mother to me. She doesn't even remember, right? I mean, it was her mother, I guess, unless that wasn't in the forest yet, right? Obviously, we get those flashbacks where we see someone who is clearly her mother, right? And she really, I don't know if this is like this reaction she has, right? It's so much like when she wakes up from the trial, right? I don't know if this is partially the horribleness, I assume, that is part of those memories, right? And it's part of why they are locked away. That in some way Puck locked them away, slash something locked them away, right? To like protect her in a way, right? It's like it's too much for her to face or something, you know? I don't know if it's that, if that's a reaction to like that, or if it's like a reaction to her trying to recall these memories at all when they are like in the state of being locked away from her, you know? Thank God Subaru is here. The same as me, they were frozen in ice, but it's different, right? They were frozen in a different way than her. Waiting with Puck for all of them to wake up. Yeah, but that day never came. So she joined the royal selection because Rosewall promised her that perhaps I can thaw the ice that encases this forest. What a great, like, unless there's more to this that has something to do with his greater goal that will in some way involve melting the forest. Isn't this just like insane? Like this is just like him bribing her, right? Like this is just like he's just holding that over her head, right? Because if he could just do it right now, if I was Amelia, I would just be like, "Oh, can you go ahead and unthaw them all, please?" Right? Like that's crazy, right? Like man, doesn't that make you think less of me? All the other candidates are participating with solid goals and resolutions, but my reason is so personal. For one, this isn't her only reason, right? We know what she said, like at the royal selection back in season 1, right? That she wants to essentially create like a fair, equal society, like all of this, right? It was kind of like a good, positive idea, you know? So it's not just for this selfish reason, right? Like not at all, right? I don't believe that, you know? But Amelia, of course, the way she is, she thinks if she's doing something that in any way has anything to do with her, that she benefits from in any way, then that means it's like negative and selfish, right? That's kind of her attitude, right? Nothing bad about wanting to save the people you care about. Yeah, like not at all, right? Nothing bad about you getting something out of it in any way too, you know? Like whether it's a lot of people or just a few doesn't make it less noble. Hmm. When she falls asleep, the memories that Amelia can't recall hold some clue to getting through the trial. So he wants to talk to Puck. So this is crazy to me that Puck is still here. He's still able to manifest. He says some weird thing about like the mana or whatever. Is it because he's inside the sanctuary? Is it like some? But he knew what was going to happen beforehand. So I thought it was something like something to do with his connection with Echidna or something, right? I guess I don't know. But he's still able to manifest, and he only does it here because Subaru like fake threatens her life, right? Um, I guess obviously from Puck didn't hear his thoughts, right? So from Puck's perspective, Subaru just said, "I'm sorry, Amelia," and starts trying to strangle her. So I guess that makes sense why Puck would react like this, right? But he's still able to show up, which is insane that he didn't show up in any of the previous episodes when Amelia like literally lost her mind and went crazy, or when like Amelia assumedly was eaten by all the rabbits, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Your love seems like the needy type. I'm a little scared to let you stay beside Leah. Always been inside her. Yeah. So we get a little time skip here. We see the first part of Amelia's memories in some way here, right? I assume it's like part of the trial, right? It's starting to help unlock those memories in a way, right? And we get a little time skip, right? Because now it's evening. So I assume Subaru said a bunch of stuff to Puck that we didn't see, right? And that is what convinces Puck to break the contract, right? Um, because again, I assume it's like Puck is always so overprotective of Amelia, right? He decides to be fine with leaving her to Subaru here, right? Like that is a huge step, right? To break the contract, right? Um, and leave her to Subaru here, right? So I assume Subaru convinced him somehow that the best thing for Amelia is for her to have her memories back so she can face the trial, right? And to trust Subaru enough to be the one to protect her now, right? Which is crazy, right? I'm surprised he was able to convince Puck of that, you know? Not that I disagree, I suppose, right? Like, of course, I believe in Subaru, right? And I believe in Amelia, but I'm surprised he could manage that, right? Here's Puck. I mean, like, are we ever going to see Puck again? Is he just gone forever? Like, that's crazy, right? I guess my limit came up faster than I thought. Yeah, I was consciously trying to break our contract, so I guess it makes sense that I'd lose my greatest strength as a spirit. I don't know, something, right? Some weird something about, like, the mana here, or I don't know. Something about being in the sanctuary, but again, he knew it was going to happen before they got here, so I don't know. I've been by your side all this time. I can tell you only for my own personal reasons and because of your own problems. Yeah, but from now on, yeah, time to leave, time to separate. But again, maybe this is good, right? Amelia has always been so reliant on Puck, like emotionally in a way, right? And he is, I think the feedback that he gives her in that way, like what he is to her in that sense, maybe is like unhealthy, right? Like, him being willing to kill everyone on the planet if she dies, right? That kind of thing, you know? I don't know if it's good to be reliant on someone like Puck in a way, you know? I wish I could explain everything, but there's no time. Man, I don't know. It's gonna be hard. I wonder what Subaru's gonna say to her to, like, help her get through this, you know? I'm trusting you to the one whose love for you is second only to mine. Oh, there sure is. There sure is one. Once I'm gone, the seal on your memories will be lifted. Yeah. But she has Subaru. She has Subaru for that help, right? Ah. Well, bye, Puck. I just did not expect this in a million years that Puck was going to be gone forever. I don't know. I don't know. I just really didn't think it was going to happen. So we get this scene of Garfield and Ryuzushima talking to each other. Yes, yes. It drives her so nuts that she misses the trial. What good is she to us? Which God, I just still don't understand what they're doing here. Unless they're like, I don't know, right? He wants her to go to the trial. Like, what good is she to us if she misses the trial, right? But the position that Subaru certainly has, and I guess that makes sense from like what Echidna said, is that Garfield doesn't want her to succeed in the trial, right? Because he's against freeing the sanctuary, right? Or at least he himself is afraid of the outside world. Does that mean he has to be against freeing the sanctuary? Maybe it doesn't. But then, like, what's even the problem that we're having here? You know what I mean? Hmm. The dude who's covered in miasma. Yeah. He does not appear to have any connection to the witch. Exactly. Right. Right. A Rudy that stays up all night will regret having short legs. Like, what could that possibly mean? I mean, literally, what could that possibly mean? So Subaru is here for Amelia, of course. He does what he has done. He does what she has done for him before, right? And stays by her side as she falls asleep. Hmm. God, and she just apologizes so much. She's so like, oh God, and maybe this is important, right? Because with Puck, she didn't feel the need to like apologize for relying on him because they've been together for so long, right? It was part of their contract in a way. You know what I mean? It's so hard for her to rely on other people, right? She feels this need to apologize nonstop about it. And maybe not having Puck around, as long as there's someone around who's receptive to her and is she's able to rely on and not worry about, like Subaru, that's going to help her work through that and be able to rely on others more in the future, right? Without Puck here, I think is an important step, right? Hmm. I guess Subaru doesn't really promise to stay by her the whole time, right? He stays by her till she falls asleep, certainly, right? I guess it just has to be something very important that he had to do, right? I don't know. I wonder. Something about this plan that's unfolding that we don't know about. And we see this memory of Amelia and her mother. All the people who told you that kind lie that they wanted to protect you. Please don't hate them. And Amelia is really reacting to this so strongly. I don't know. I wonder, like, what is she talking about? The kind lie that they wanted to protect you. I don't know. I wonder. Something about her being a silver-haired half-elf, I wonder, right? I don't know. Oh god, Mother Fortuna. She remembers now, right? You liar. Puck, you liar. Subaru, you liar. Oh god. It feels like it would be so easy for her to fall into the same place that she was at in like episode 11, right? It's like I wonder, she has her memories back now, which is like a big difference, right? And Subaru is here. Subaru's going to talk to her, right? So she's not going to, right? She goes missing. Garfield doesn't know anything about it, of course, even though, he could be someone who would have like a potential motivation, right? If him not wanting the sanctuary to be freed was that simple, right? Of course, he has nothing to do with it, assumedly, right? Seems like it. Amelia just went off to the trial place. There's something weird here about the cups. Garfield thinks about the cups, right? Them sitting here with the cups. I don't know what. I gotta look at it again, right? Are they different cups, right? Was Shima meeting with someone else? Is that what's going on? He thinks back to the cups. They are different cups, I think. That's really, yeah, no, they aren't different cups, right? Garfield's a tall one. She has like the short, wide one. Um, no, this is a different cup. Okay, it is different cup confirmed. Okay, it is a different cup. So then what's the implication here? That someone else was meeting with Ryuzushima? Subaru, perhaps? Is that what he had to go off and do? Because I guess it would have been late at night, right? Because Garfield was meeting with her, he left. Subaru had to leave in the middle of the night instead of staying with Amelia. So did Subaru come and talk to Ryuzushima? That would make sense, right? Because Subaru went to go talk to Ryuzu initially because he thought that she was the one who was against the freeing of the sanctuary. Ryuzu Arma was like, no, that's Ryuzushima. So then Subaru went to go talk to Ryuzushima, right? And I assume that's what this cup thing is about. Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. And that would be like an important enough reason for Subaru to like, he can't waste any time, right? He can't just be sitting around with Amelia all night. Come on. And Oto, God, is awesome. Oto's gonna beat this guy up, like man. In truth, I had planned to talk things over with you here. Wanted to talk to you with Ryuzu. That is, with Shima-san in attendance. But I wasn't really expecting what happened with Amelia-sama. Interesting. That said, all kinds of conspiratorial plans are already laid out. That's what it seems like, yeah. Oto's so cool. God. And Amelia's sitting here at the trial, having more memories come back to her. Yeah. Subaru is here to talk, of course. Let's talk. Okay, well, let's talk, I suppose, and that will be next time. So, good episode. Good episode. Good start. I guess this is part 2 of season 2. I don't know what the separation is. I assume they're just like different, Assume there's probably a few months in between them, Just different cores, I guess. Well, good start. Good start. I'm excited to see where we go. This arc's so much longer than the previous ones, right? But hey, we're getting there. I have full faith. I have full faith that Subaru would do this without dying again, right? We got this. We got this. So yeah, I guess that's it. So please, if you enjoy my videos, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.